should be good to go. Yes, indeed, it looks it. Just mute that. Found a way to get pop-up chat to work, assuming we're live, which it looks like we are. If I can't get it, it's going to be a little bit of a moot point, but, hold on a sec. As I realized the problem I had is I kept turning away. I was like, hey, thank you for saying this in the chat. And then I'd answer the question, like, after it was, like, done and dusted. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we should be good. So yeah, anybody jumping into the stream, I appreciate it. We're gonna play some Bloodborne, and we're gonna talk about X-Men 97 probably a little bit, because it is an amazing TV show. First item of business, actually, is going to be the NPCs. I didn't go and save any of them or do any of their quest lines. And obviously everything just completely falls apart after you kill ROMs, so I want to do that now. Let's go... Great Bridge. It is kind of funny how lively this whole world is. Like, it's a very... You see a lot of people and the city feels like a real city, but like, most everybody that you meet in this game doesn't want to have anything to do with you. They just want to, like, kind of be left alone. Like, hunters are looked down upon, so that's kind of one of the reasons why they had it be that way. But it's interesting that there are just a precious few that you can help out and that you can do certain things with. Wait, we're out of the cage? Okay. Oh, it's because the... Uh-oh, she's still... Okay. Wait a minute.
But more's the pity. The hours of the night are not even there. But step lightly round to the right of the gift.
I didn't know Patches comes here. What happened to the old lady? I don't often run the quests in this game. I guess she's done. Shame. I'm too fucking late, I guess. Fine. Well, that old lady would have had sedatives in the church. I'm not sure what's the point of no return with her. I guess I crossed it. I forgot to mention that. I've been knocking on this game these entire streams, and I forgot to mention the stupid bonfires. The fact that you always have to go back to the dream anytime you want to travel anywhere in this game. It's just like, if you're gonna have the fast travel system, like, from the very get-go, don't make it that inconvenient. And for some reason they chose to make it that inconvenient. It's just, I can picture the sequel where it's just like, go to this place when you sit down and commune with a lamp just like you always commune with the lamps. I'm like, I know they want you to visit the hunter's dream and they want it to, like, feel like a real place, but it just, having to go back and back and back and back, it's like, you literally have to take 2 trips anytime you want to go anywhere. You have to go back to the dream, then to wherever your actual destination is. In my opinion, that almost, like, negates the importance of the Hunter's Dream. Makes it feel like just the part where you go, because you have to go there. You have to stop by. She is this way, as is the flamethrower boy. Poison knives. Please still be here? Oh, and I didn't go to Yosefka's clinic. Hold on. She's still here. Please?
Oh my, what a queer scent. But I'd take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, and besides, this is no place for ladies. Wouldn't want to drag you down too.
Sorry, young Sheldon memes. It's so funny. I love the build-up. They're like, young Sheldon is ending. It's like, wow. Finally, the dramatic finale of young Sheldon. We did it. We got there.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, aren't you, dear?
That's what I said when I knocked the first time.
Might you know of a safe place? The night is long and
I got a safe place for you. I don't have a safe place for the Cthulhu baby growing inside of you, unfortunately.
Oh, thank you, dear. Perhaps I'll see you there. Oh, thank you, dear. Perhaps I'll see you there.
And this guy is interesting. Yosefka's clinic, because I'm probably gonna go there and kill her before I defeat Rom, but it's interesting how this whole quest line works and how everything goes down with Yosefka versus the let's get that. Versus the Odin Chapel church dweller. But by that I mean the fake Yosefka is evil, so we're gonna deal with that. Young Sheldon is dead. I didn't even know what it was. Apparently it's been running since like 2017 or something like that. And it's like, it's a sitcom. I don't watch a lot of sitcoms, admittedly, but I just find it so funny how much they've been trying to like prop up the finale. And it's like, it's a sitcom that like pretty much no one's heard of. So not sure what you did. I'm not sure what the implication here. I never talked about this place that you end up, because I know the opening of this game got tossed around a couple of times. So there's that wolf in there. Oh, I just realized that entire time I never defeated it like you're supposed to. It is the funny thing when you disagree with this game's opinion and you just skip all of this because you literally can. Like, I never do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to fight that thing, you're supposed to die, and then you're supposed to come back for vengeance with your weapon. And I forgot to do that, and he just stays there the entire time. The implication is that this is the cat that was in the wheelchair in the opening scene that, like, helped you out. Apparently, he was here in, like, an original part of the game. I think there's, like, dialogue with him. Like I was mentioning, there was that alternate, opening where Gascoigne, you actually met him and worked along with him, and he was basically a companion for you, a scripted companion. In this, I think the implication here is that this guy is the guy from the wheelchair, and that somehow he just got killed. I don't know how the hell a beast got in here, but it's just like, it just did. And then you were in this room up here. and obviously it gets closed down because it's Yosefka, and they don't necessarily want you to go back into the place that you started the game off in, even though you can once you figure out who she is. But I don't know if the guy that was in the wheelchair is kind of Casti de Florens. I'll go with Casti. Yeah, I'm sure I sound like some sort of a scholar when I'm talking about this game. I don't know like a hell of a lot. I've just played it over and over again, so I've looked into these kinds of things. But I feel like the implication is that this is Yosefka's clinic. Maybe that guy worked for her, but then I think if you knock on this door initially, it's actually the real Yosefka, and then she gets infected later on. She gets like the fake one comes in. So.
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yosefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well, off you go then.
It is a very cool idea. I mentioned this with the chapel dweller, but like people that want to help in this time. Like this is a really horrible time in the city. And there are people looking after each other. Like Yosefka obviously is a, by the way, I have no idea if I'm saying that right. It's just how I've always said it, Yosefka. She wants to bring people here to cure her. She gets like taken over by the evil woman later on, but when she existed, she had good intentions, it seemed. And the chapel dweller just wants to bring people there because again, all he's after is friends. It seems like she genuinely does want to heal people. And then I knocked on Jura's quest line because it's not that great in terms of the execution, but his character is pretty cool. He's basically a reformed hunter. He's someone that hunted beasts, and now he's like, the beasts are like actual like souls, and like he doesn't want to kill beasts. That's why he goes apeshit and tries to shoot you when you come into Old Yarnum. It's interesting to get different people who have different perspectives on beasts, and it just, I love all the faction splits that are in this game. There's some people that are just their own independent agents. There's some people that are out for their particular faction, for like legacy. It's just, this game in particular has such interesting lore that I really feel like it could lend itself to a TV show. Elvis the Alien just put out a tweet about that like so long ago. He was just like a Bloodborne game like adaptation with the quality of Arcane. The animation and the writing quality. And it's like, dude, that would be so good. Just like, please give us that. Oh, I don't even know if I said yes. You probably have to say yes. I'll just go back to it. Oh, I need to look at the title more. X-Men 97's good. Watch X-Men 97. I haven't watched the original show. That watch it, okay? Watch it anyway. I did the same thing. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. You're gonna think it's the best TV show ever made. Let's go to Cathedral Ward. God, yeah, she can help me out.
Oh, hello, dear. You weren't lying. This is a safe place. Thank you. I am in your debt. I'd like to tender my thanks, but I can't imagine what to offer. All I can give is my blood. But would you even take a whore's blood? Oh, good. Come close, dear. Don't worry, I've done this before.
I have no idea, by the way, how that works with blood, because basically I think that item is essentially the same as your regular vials. I think it just continues health after the fact. So blood taken from Ariana. Cathedral Ward Woman of Pleasure. The sweet blood of Ariana restores HP and temporarily speeds stamina recovery. Member of the Old Healing Church would know that her blood is similar indeed to precisely what was once forbidden. So maybe this is kind of like a taboo thing. That's how she frames it. But yeah, these are always interesting. A little bit of extra stamina. I've never found them too useful. Like you can only have one at a time, and they feel like a Hail Mary, and it just... I don't know if you're supposed to use them like when you're super desperate and you're like, I need something, but it's like I said, just never found them too useful. Now time to... Actually, I can go this way. Now time to save the geezer, I guess. And get more beast blood pellets somehow. I can't believe I lost to Rom. I actually don't think I lost that many times, but I did die like at least 3 times. I'm like, I'm gonna do it fair. I'm gonna do it fair and just kill all the individual spiders. That's what I wanted to show, so I'm gonna do that. Alright. Let's go to the guy who does the opposite of everything you tell him to do.
You're not from around here, are you? Or an outsider who's come to join the hunt? What a pathetic idea. You what? What, you think I'm a beast? Well, maybe I think you're a beast. And step away from my castle. Oh, enough of you. What, you think this is funny? Well, I certainly don't, so be gone with you.
I love meeting people like this that are just that intolerant. They just...
What's this 2-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. No, why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin. All right. What crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
So, yeah, that's the way that it works. You're supposed to do the opposite. He will do the opposite of what you tell him to do. So if you tell him to go to the chapel, he'll go to the clinic. If you tell him to go to the clinic, he'll go to the chapel. Basically just to spite you. And it's just... It's so funny, because it's like, this guy's an asshole, but I'm like, I am not going to condemn him to, like, cosmic horror death. I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'll save you.
Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even their lies are predictable.
Something funny is... I think he mistrusts the wrong people. That's the funny thing in the church. He... Like, I think he doesn't think that the cannibal guy who tries to kill everybody is, like, evil. He's like, he reads people wrong, but it's like the inverse of his opinions match up with reality. It's just... It's interesting that you can kind of get a grasp of what's to come in the game based on what he is saying, because if you go, like, the opposite of what he says, then you'll help people, or you'll figure out what's about to happen. Yeah, I suppose... Oh, I can get a Della, I think. What am I walking around in circles? Let's get to the jail. Let's save the nun-ish, kind of, and... Come on. What? There it is. God almighty. I've never understood what the, I guess, like, nothing ever comes of that. And I was about to say I did kill Pearl. I forgot. Alright. Let's get some healing church garb on. Oh, I've got gas coins, yeah. Is she still here? Oh no. Oh no, she's dead. I gotta look up what the cutoff points are, I swear. Like, most of the time with this game, I just skip the NPC quests because they waste time. Like, Eileen is pretty much the only quest line that I do every single time without exception, but most of the other ones I don't. So, because they don't really do much of anything. Like, you can get the sedatives from the old lady, and you can get the blood from Adele and what is her name? Ariane? Or like Ariana, that's right. Ariane is the Martel. Okay. Rum. Let me get some fire paper going. I'll do bold. There you go. Okay. Yeah. That should... Oh, I could go to the clinic. It wouldn't do much, and I'd have to... Well, that was the other thing. I could go to Canehurst. That's an option that I have, but... I'll skip it for now, because Logarius is pretty damn hard. Vroom, vroom. Okay. Let's get that student uniform, and... It's such a pain in the ass to fight this guy in here. It's so much better outside. God. Bloodborne lore is just so, is just cool as fuck. I gave my PS4 away, but forgot about BB. Yeah. Bloodborne is amazing, and the lore is amazing. Yeah, I think someone said that, like, what game has the best lore? That I saw that on Twitter recently, and what I said is I love how street level this game feels. It's like... how I describe this, and it's like this is why I don't encourage these types of fights, because it's like they're just boring. They're like a bunch of random, worthless, like easy to kill, like drones, because of course you have to make them easy to kill, and then they're just like, there you go. Now, like, fight all those small guys that are there to annoy you while the guy shoots AoE at you. I was planning to watch X-Men 97 because I think it's finished. Yes, it did. It just finished. If you're one of those people that, like, waits for shows to be through and then watches them, then it's done now. You can watch the entire thing. They're 30-minute episodes. They're super easy to watch. Yeah, watch it. It's on Disney Plus, and watch that wholesome as hell otter documentary. I swear, I put that on Twitter today. I am very much not kidding. The Otter movie, like, Billy and Molly, an otter love story. That is on Disney Plus. That was a Kino documentary, actually. these boys. I think the... Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'll read your chart in a sec. Let me get this guy. Ugh! See, that's what I'm saying. That's all that Rom's AoE attacks are good for. You just have to be looking at him when this whole fight is about moving around and getting the upper hand that way. So it's just like, all that is a distraction. These guys are a distraction for him, basically. It's like, thank you. Great fight. How does it rank? It really would be fun to finish this stream and then do a ranking of the bosses, because, like, so many of them would be way lower than most. I am not a fan of them. Hate how it's psychotic just how far that'll go. What? And then, there you go, insta-kill. Fuck you, man. That's what I always just say. I'm like, do this fight fair. Why? It's an unfair fight. Why would I do that? I can't think of a single full crowd fight in the Souls games that isn't completely awful. Crowd... Yeah, like the Deacons of the Deep are awful. Just don't really exist. The Celestial Emissary is embarrassing. It's meant to be embarrassing, but like, still, yeah, they're bad. There are premises of fights in these games that are literally bad for the game, and this is one of them. This is one of the most important boss fights in the entire game. This, like, once you do this, everything changes, and this is the boss they went with. Whew. I'm like, really, how do you define a chore? Like, give me the definition of that, and I'm like, what is happening right now is what you look at when you, like, think of the term chore. A tedious task that's easy to achieve, and, like, non-thrilling, and like the only thing again is the insta-kills, because they have to have insta-kill moves, because like they know there's no way you could die to these weak-ass spiders, so they need one-shot AoE moves to kill, to like have it so you die if you step in like the wrong place without permission. And it's like, thank you From, you did it. That should have actually skipped the third phase. Yep, it did. Okay, let me cheat it. Because I am done with this fight. It's so bad. Okay. That's the problem when you try. Bosses I hated the most from this game were the stupid spider and Mikolash. Yeah. We will get to Mikolash. Believe me, we will get to Mikolash. Awful, up there for this game for sure. And the biggest problem with it is that, like, you get lost. You get lost, and when you know the route, it's not even a boss fight anymore. It's a checklist. You go through it and you're like, okay, do this, then do this, and do this, and he's such There's so many good humanoid boss fights inside of this game, and they're like, how we're gonna have a magic user. He's completely worthless other than a call beyond. He's got the tentacle arm deal, and then that's about it. It's kind of insane. Right. Good here. Alright. How do you... There's gotta be a way that you can do that without dodging, because they literally do just fall right by the side. And you see... Did you see that right there? The combos in this fight are such bullshit. Like, they really, like, can just gang up on you and get, like, 3 in. That did not skip. I don't know why, but whatever. Alright. Or it did skip. Alright, I'm gonna try to cheat this as quick as possible. Alright, 1 AoE attack. Awful. So awful. I literally just feel like fairing it through, Ludwig instead, because at least Ludwig is a good boss. I'll just fair it. I can't keep trying to just get in the attacks. I don't have any beast blood pellets. Alright, this is gonna be the one. I swear it's gonna be this one. And again, man, this is why this is such a run killer if you're trying to do a speed run of this game, because it just, like, without beast blood pellets, and if you don't upgrade your health, which I'm one of those types of people, it just does not upgrade their health pretty much at all, it's like this fight is death for you, because you cannot survive the one-shots. And I'm like, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I am looking at one-shot moves right about now. Every time I get hit by them with the crushing attacks or those, like, arm swings, all it takes is 2. So for one, the AoE attacks that are on the ground are killing me one-shot, literally. The ones on the ground, if I run into them, I'm dead. I used the Tantris on Rom and it cut through the spiders like butter. I think that's probably why, the bolt paper is as effective as it is right now. I think he's vulnerable to bolt attacks. Alright. That should have skipped the second phase. Let's go to the spider pit. Unless it didn't skip the second phase. It's almost better if it didn't, because then the spiders aren't all running around in clusters. Shouldn't be running around, but then if I don't run around, maybe I'll get hit directly, and that just wouldn't be good for anybody, would it? Alright. Let's fair it. Don't get greedy, Evan. You can do this. See, that's what I'm talking about. Did you see what just happened right there? I was paying too much attention to the spider for the game's opinion, and then they decided to one-shot me with that. And there you go, I'm dead. You tell me if that's me, like, focusing too much or getting distracted by chat or something like that, or maybe don't have AoE attacks on a fight where you've got... I hate this game, it's so bad. It's also my favorite video game of all time. Alright. Let's go to Ludwig instead. This is ridiculous. Or I could do it without wasting any more bolt paper. Let's just get this done, and then we'll get to the good boss. But yeah, that's the mechanic of this boss. They're like, okay, we'll have a meat sack. We'll have a meat sack with AoE attacks. It's like, that'll be too easy. It's like, I got it. We'll have a bunch of small enemies running around, and at no point did they go, maybe, like, getting shot with magic infrequently when you're trying to take out a bunch of tedious, tiny-ass spiders doesn't make for a particularly compelling fight. It's like, we got a system where you can parry enemies with a gun. Like, I got it, spiders. Someone get this guy. Oh. Alright. And this is what you have to do as well. You have to separate them, because it's the combos that get you. And when you separate them and when you just start looking at them and what they physically can do, you realize how bad of an enemy they are. Just at face value. Like, the regular enemies that are in this game with, like, the torches are there, they at least have consistent movesets and are interesting. These guys are just, like, an extenuation of what the other ones are. Alright. It's like his head, their heads are like super armored up, and then they just move around and you hit them on the side. So they are just like ROM, just with the arm attacks. Alright. He skipped the second phase, doesn't look like it. I'll hit you with meteors. Yeah. Okay, let's keep Rom in view, and hopefully relatively far away, because he has a tendency to just explode. I suppose that is the one saving grace. At least they have that sound that you can use. That's like... So that's something. It's not like, it's a little unfair to just go like they don't give you anything or any cue. But it's frustrating because you don't know what's that, where he just explodes, and you don't know which ones are like immediate danger. And that's the only way to know for sure, or to be safe, is to just keep him in view at all times. But when you're dealing with a bunch of individual enemies who themselves are actually like pretty easy to get you killed. I don't know. I don't feel challenged. That's like the best way to look at this. I don't feel challenged by this. I always felt challenged by the Sekiro bosses. Like I had to fight them genuinely. But, this, not so much. I feel like I'm doing a checklist. That confused the hell out of him by the looks of it. Where'd you go? There you are. Alright. Get these individual ones. I'm out of health again, so this is it. If I die. Wait, speaking of which, when you stop running to see if your stamina is a decent bit there, and then you stop, then it takes a while when you press the run button to get moving again. Because if you press it too quickly, then you, 25th hour stream, like it took millennia. Yeah. It's a lot. Let's fight a good boss. I have confidence I can defeat him with one blood vial. Let's do this. Yeah, I was an idiot for using all the beast blood pellets. I shouldn't. You always have to save them because you can't buy them until after you defeat Rom. So you have a precious few. And I wasted them. I'm like Paral or something. Let's go, my friend. Oh, I'm still alive? I thought that was it. And that is the unfortunate thing about those sweep attacks. They're essentially like attack versions of combos where you can get hit 3 times even though you were technically hit 1 time. And the best way is to dodge into him, but it's not a reliable way of doing that. Once again, I usually use Beast Blood pellets on him, but I'm trying to do it a little bit fast. I love doing that. I'm telling you, just get that rune that restores your health, and then you can do that every time. That person they leave there to cut your face off behind your back. You can do it fast. That was my fault. Mistime that. You see, I just said the reason that that this is a significantly better fight than Rom. I'm like, there's no excuses in this fight. You have very little room to breathe because he's designed to stop you from healing, basically. And yeah, he's great. but you got to know his moveset. That can soften the blow a little bit to dying from Ludwig. You're like, ugh, let me kill that witch that tried to murder me. That was an attack, that's for sure. Like, headbutted me, basically. I gotta farm. Yeah, you definitely need some... Gotta get some fire paper and more blood echoes. Yeah, let's... Where's a good place to farm? It was the jail. In fact, it sucks when this place leaves because it's unambiguously the best place to farm until you get to the very ending right before Megro's wet nurse. Oh, another thing about X-Men 97, the OST is... Whoa! That guy did not fuck around. The second that I existed, he's like, your free trial of life has expired. I don't know if I've died that quickly after spawning from a bonfire. He just annihilated me. Okay. Let's try this again. Loser! Oh yeah, and I can probably upgrade my weapon at this point. Nice try. Speaking of which... Okay. Oh, and there's... It might be chunks on this side? Let me check. It's probably twins, because you can get to this place super early. But you never know. Yep, thought so. If nothing else, I should be able to upgrade my gun when I get there. This pig guy. Thank you for doing the move I like. What to talk about with the farm, because I can't spoil X-Men 97 or anything. Other than to say to watch those first 2 episodes. They were really wise to release them as a, 2-part pilot, essentially. Magneto is incredible, and so is Matthew Watterson. It's kind of insane. From what I've looked up about the guy, he like has done a lot of like additional, like you always, you know, when you look up like an actor and it says like additional voices in this video game, it like, he's one of those guys. He seems to be someone who's basically like worked in small roles and maybe bigger projects, but he's all but the starring role of that show, and it's a very demanding performance. A lot of the performances are demanding inside of that show. But he killed it. He killed it. He might be a name to watch out for. I'm looking forward to whatever the hell he wants to do. Yeah, that guy... absolutely pivotal to how that show worked out. And Lenore Zahn, the actress who plays Rogue, she played Rogue in the original show before she worked with X-Men 97, and I guarantee there's not material that is like more demanding in that show than the material that she has to work with inside of X-Men 97, and she kills it. She kills it, and it's such a doubly impressive role. There's one thing in terms of the performance that's in the actual show, and then just picking up, like, someone like Kevin Conroy, he played Batman for years. He dedicated his life to playing Batman. So if they had made, like, before his untimely passing, had they made a revival show for Batman the Animated Series for some reason, even though they already did those Justice League shows and stuff like that, he would do just fine, because he played Batman like as often as he could. That's why his performance is arguably like the best superhero performance in media, because the man, like, he dedicated his life. He wanted to be Batman, and he just spent his entire life trying to do so. But Lenore Zahn, at least, like, developed Domino's powers for a second. Lenore Zahn, unless I'm mistaken, she might have played Rogue in other properties, but she sure as hell didn't instead of the X-Men show, because it genuinely hasn't seen the light until now. And she just stepped right back into it and did an amazing job, so... The acting is an incredible aspect of the show. It's so cool that they got so many of the original actors from the OG X-Men animated series back, and it just... considering how good they are, and it's like, no! You bastard! Be a moot point in a sec, but still... I don't like that you poisoned me then, mate. That was inconsiderate of ya. Right. Reawaken, that should be it. What else can be said about X-Men 90? The animation and the, like, one of the things I love about X-Men 97, everyone is talking about color and how flat and boring and uninteresting movies look nowadays. Rightfully so, they do. But that show is so colorful and vivid and interesting. You... that up. No! Okay. Modify weapon... oh, wow. I need me some chunks, it looks like. I don't know if that even does anything, probably not. Upgrade ourselves.
Welcome. Very well.
I already referenced that. Upgrade myself. That is so satisfying. It's insane. I'll do that every single time because it is amazing. Alright. Alright, this will be the one for sure. Because I am so tired of being stuck in this one bloody place. Alright. Whoop. Could take this guy out, but I got Rom to deal with. Something... I could test it out, but I'm pretty sure if you go back to this place, not much changes. And it is a little unfortunate, because, like, killing Rom, like, changes the world completely, but Bergenworth seems, like, about the same. It's like, did nothing change? You're like, I guess not. I was like, okay. That's the thing about Bergenworth, is it's an important location in this game, but it's just the design and what's actually in here. It's just not interesting. Like, it's very similar to the Duke's Archives instead of Dark Souls 1. It's just, like, it's a location that is super important and has, like, a lot of intrigue surrounding it. But, I mean, I don't love the Duke's Archives as a level, personally, but, in this game, Bergenworth is just like a U. There's... The design is so boring compared to something like the research hall, which there was just so much detail put into the design of that place, and it's amazing. It's an interesting level to run, plain and simple. That should have skipped the second phase. Endlessly annoying. God. I'm telling you, it actually does take a while to get into the running animation, and it's irritating. What's further irritating is giant spiders interrupting your attacks when you're trying to kill the small spiderers. Appreciating that audio cue ever since I picked up on that as like an alternative to keeping him in sight. I still don't think it's great because it's super subtle, and again, you don't know what attack that indicates. Because the one that's the real problem is the one that, like, he just sends a missile barrage at you. Thought I was in range. You never know with that one. The best, like, if you see him do that, you just best to be anywhere but where you currently are. If I die to this... That's what I was talking about, though. I literally got to the point where there was a single spider, and the motherfucker still killed me somehow. I don't even know how that's possible. Alright, Rom, I killed all of your boys, including Chris, so let's finish this. Done. Curtsy. Let me get rid of that. Curtsy. Not that you deserve it, but sure. Fungi is the yes. It only took me an hour. It only took me an hour to defeat one of the worst bosses in the game. God. I didn't even use electricity. Why, thank you. I still use fire. I don't know if he's more prone to fire or electricity, but one way or another it's additional damage, so yeah. Done. Let's go. 10 out of 10. She is interesting. I'd have to look up what her deal is again, but obviously she's at the very last level, and then there's the whole... There's the Chalice Dungeons, which, if I didn't mention it, obviously the Chalice Dungeons are not going to play at all into this. I am not entering them. They are stupid. When I talk about the worst parts of the game, I usually don't even reference the Chalice Dungeons because I'm like, oh, that's right, the Chalice Dungeons exist in Bloodborne. Yeah. Those were shit. And it's like, it just... There's... That's my only thought. I'm just like, I did it once to platinum it. I am never, ever doing it again. I don't know why someone would want to, like... The thing that, like, cannot be overstated is just how boring it is to have, like, all of the enemies, all the environments are inside. And Elden Ring has a similar problem with its dungeons, because usually when you just go into caves or places like that, they're just not unique environments. Because you don't need to make levels, even. You basically just, do it the way... Baby. That is one hell of a word, Casti. I can't say I know how to pronounce it, but I am sure that whatever the description of that baby that you were going for is like a correct description of it. Alright, let's get her. Ugh. This one bell ringer, I think the bell ringers are an interesting idea in terms of them enhancing the enemies and obviously creating, like, creating these enemies, but they're also, like, Hefe versions of the regular ones. But the one that's on the stairs is super hidden away. Not a fan of how they incorporated it. I don't know why they did it that way. Let's get the giant, yeah. Fucking... Thank you, enemy lock-on. Alright, blame the enemy lock-on. Shut up. I got stuck. Let's try this again. I usually just run straight for the bell ringer, because it's like, why not? He destroys the stairs. And I'm telling you, just the general viability of, like, running in these games is like... If you want and you know the route, you really can just run by everybody. Fucking. Oh, I was about to say, I would have lost Rom's stuff there. Alright. So it's here. You go here, and then when you kill yourself by jumping off of this cliff and dying, there's this little ledge that saves you from falling off of the cliff and dying. And then the bell ringer for these super hard enemies, for like a giant Cthulhu who's got like a laser that he hits you with. They put the bell ringer there. It's like, thank you guys, you did it. Can you please do a normal attack? Come on. There it is. All my homies ate Chalice Dungeons once only saving grace is lore. Yeah, pretty much. And they do have that, like, wedding ring thing, which is fun to, like, you know, have it so that you can, like, propose to Annalise. She doesn't accept it, and that's, like, that's my problem with the Chalice Dungeons, is there is lore, but it's, like, it's barely worth it. Like, there's just so little you get out of the experience compared to what you get in the mainline game. And the whole exercise just feels like an afterthought, basically. It doesn't feel like it's at the forefront of the experience of what this game is going for. And it offers a hell of a lot in that regard, because you play the main game versus the Chalice Dungeons. It's just night and day which one is superior in terms of how it was crafted, and like the care that they put into it. So, every single one of the ladies that I'm gonna kill here, they come back to life and try to kill you if you don't kill that one bell ringer that I killed. So, yeah, and I find it ridiculous because that guy, like, it is really hard to go. It's not instinctive to be going down there. Like, that ledge looks like you're just gonna kill yourself by jumping off of it. Cause like look, when you look, that's what you see. You see that. And you're gonna try to go for those stairs, and it's just not particularly obvious. I know you can hear the bell, and it's like, that's something anyway. But it isn't much. Whoa. Alright, let's go for this lady. So, this is what this is. You're safe as you sit here, but just picture the situation that we're dealing with in terms of what you're looking at. Everyone is just gonna think door. Got to get to door. So instead of what I'm staring at right now, where I'm just sitting here and I know I'm safe, imagine this entire area is filled with 8 ladies that are trying to kill you, and every time you try to kill them, they just come back from the dead. And imagine that, like, Cthulhu is shooting a missile fucking strike at you. It's like, the missile strike has friendly fire, and it's like, that's good. But, like, it's that bell ringer. I think the bell ringer should have been here. That would have been fair. It would have put you right in the front lines of where the laser was going to come through. So, it would be apparent where she was, and she wouldn't be hidden, like, underneath where it's, like, unintuitive to go there. And then, basically, you're more likely going to get pushed away to the stairs, have to fight them there, and if you rush and attack her and know where the missile strike is going to go, then you can lead out to the side. I think that would have been better than what they did, because what they did is so confusing. It gets so frustrating when you just are looking for the route, And the answer is, when you look here, you know around where the laser's gonna be. So I know that after this, bang, 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 now I'm gonna go. And now I'm gonna be able to outrun the laser strike. 3, 2, 1. That is a rough as shit part of this level. You just, like... It's so frustrating when you go through it over and over again. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's give me some grace. I didn't even bother with the dungeons in Elden Ring. Only those were needed for the quest, or while goofing around the Steamless Coop. Yeah, exactly. There's some interesting bosses in those dungeons, but again, the problem with cave areas is that they all feel samey, and that's why I compared the Chalice dungeons to the dungeons instead of those games, because all of them, you're basically just in a cave. And a cave is just not an interesting... The levels and all the details in these games are one of the best parts of it. And when you just have everything be like you're in a cave and that's it, it's like... It's not the most satisfying of experiences. Alright, I need to use the echoes I have from ROM. I think I just speed run this area until I get to the boss. Yeah, it's good. Let me tell you, one of the biggest frustrations for me with this level is the route. I think I mentioned this with Ludwig. I thought that you had to always go from the first bonfire when you're in the DLC to get to him. I didn't realize until way later that there's a second bonfire near the church, and I love it. But I'll show you the route in a second, which is like the best way to go through this. But the walk to the One Reborn, if you don't know where you're going, is insufferable. Let's go to Upper Cathedral Ward, actually. Then I could potentially go to Canehurst, actually, too. Like I said on Twitter, I want this to go long. I could even potentially finish the game. Probably not the DLC, but I could get through a good chunk of the bosses. Yeah. Uh-oh. She is sad because she is pregnant.
There you are. Forgive me, I'm a bit out of sorts. So, no blood today, I'm afraid.
I think Adela, like, goes insane at this point, too, so even if you've gotten her, it doesn't go anywhere.
Your lies spin a web, but I see through your deceit. I did not learn from books. No. I learned it all with my own mind. Your lies spin a web, but I see through your deceit. I did not learn from... I learned it all with my...
Why did I upper? Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can run this. You can't open the door. I'm telling you, those wheelchair boys, they have the best NPC performance in this game in terms of the regular enemies. Their death sounds and their just like regular dialogue sounds so unhinged. It's great. This key as well, I'm telling you, that door, like, it's so grand, but that key is really hard to find, and that door pissed the hell out of me. I was like, where does it go? You gotta, like, storm the castle to get in. These guys bug me, because they're meant to stop the speed run. There you go. Alright, ow! See, I'm stuck. Okay. They're way stronger than the regular guys, and they just get in your way. Speaking of getting in ways, Oh, this area is a chore. I really don't know the ideal way to get through this area. I don't know what it is that they really want you to do. Alright. And there we go. Now I'm stuck. Yeah. I really do not like this move, because it's boring. There's nothing that comes from it. It's like, hey, you get grabbed by magic, and then the guy eats your face off. It's like, okay, let's make an entire area where we have 17 of them. It's like, how do you stop that? I guess you dodge through it. If there is a way to stop that move, it's the one move in this game that I do not have a consistent and reliable way to dodge. It is infinitely frustrating, and it's all but an insta-kill. It's like, you lose 2 insight any time that you get grabbed by any of those guys. It is so easy to go through this area and have, like, your entire insight lineup just fucking annihilated. I love how this is what I have to do because the fucking stairs are just broken in this game. Oh, okay. Put the choir set on, and then let's go through this piecemeal. There's a lot to break down here. Okay, so this guy first of all, this entire place is in the pitch black, so it's great for enemies in general. Alright, this guy's first. He's there to trip you up for the guys from the door. And then there's going to be a bunch of chandelier boys that are the same. Yeah. Usually I bottleneck from the door. I'll try to use it from the stairs, but... Stairs, they're great. And then here we are. Now 3 wolves. Let's do what you're supposed to always do. Bottleneck, yay! What am I supposed to do with this level? 3 beasts at the same time. I'm like, run back, away from danger. You bottleneck them at this door. I'm only now appreciating how the sound disappears, but I'm like, what do they expect you to do? Stand your ground? You run? I don't know why that. I just can't stand this area. Okay. Let's get the side thing here. Don't know what this guy is, but the alternative is I could run for it and then turn around. Okay. Right, that chunk guy I was mentioning in one of the other streams is here. I'll show it in a sec. There's this guy to deal with. Yeah, he's right here. So that motherfucker is there so that you get caught by the face sucker. I'm gonna try to... Nice thing, like I said, I think they weaken him. You see that? He's so much easier to defeat because... that. Stairs are a saving grace because of that. Alright. Fuck. Alright. Okay, can I get the backstab? Can I get the backstab? Calm as still water. Can I first try this? Can I first try? Nope. There you go. Love it. It's great. Thank you. Awful. Awful area, and I don't know what they want you to do. Like, best case scenario with that entire place, you'll probably lose like 8 insight. You'll get caught 4 times. Probably die that many times too. And it's like, it just... My rule is don't make moves or games where, like, don't make mistakes is the rule. Those guys have one single boring move. And that is, like, they hit you with something that locks you in place and then they eat your face off. I was about to say the Celestial Emissary is nearby, isn't it? What? His health bar was gone. What are you talking about? Thank you. Great job, game. You and I saw exactly the same thing. Anyone who plays Soulsborne is going to tell you that that's death, but it's not. I'm gonna run out of insight. It's great. And as you're like, you have Madman's knowledge. No, it's like, well, what? My advice is just spend all your insight before you go here. Just go wild, you know? Don't spend it all in one place, except do exactly that. Yeah, just... That was a scythe. Let me tell you something. Also rip whatever the hell I had. And there it is. Thank you. I'm not exactly sure what to do. I don't know if I have the key. I'll just check, because I'm tired of going after this one goddamn guy. But yeah, like... That's kind of the best way to sum up my frustration with games like this, is that trapping, in specific situations with, like, moves. Because that's the thing, the only reason these guys are frustrating is that one move. And it's just, it's a bad move. It's a super quick AoE attack, and then if you miss that, you're trapped. And then basically, one-shot. And it's like, it's not necessarily a one-shot, is it? It's like, well, for someone like me who doesn't upgrade their health all that much, that's basically just a one-shot. It's like, it's not because these guys are leveled like a bunch or we're at this, like, a particular part of the game. That's just how they operate. That's how they are consistently. Cold blood from before. Do I have the key? Let me check. I don't think so, no. I think it's from this guy, actually. There it is. Alright. Bad video game. And yeah, I don't... Having this take place in the dark, it's clearly what they wanted, but these enemies... Those wolves are one of my favorite enemies in the game because of how consistent their moveset are, but being able to clearly see them, and it's like, you don't need a torch in this area, but it just... Dark area with enemies that are not necessarily ideal for that kind of a thing. Oh, I was about to say the cap is actually probably in that hallway. I could snag that if I wanted to. May as well take on the Celestial Emissary instead of this drip. Assuming I opened the door, which I did? Okay, there. Fucking... God, alright. Okay, now you just gotta sit there and let it happen. I didn't even get the fucking cap. Oh my god. I'll be back. I'm gonna try something. I think that worked perfectly. And if so, I might be doing that kind of a thing moving forward. Okay, let's get this cap and let's get out of this area so that we can fight the really great bosses that are ahead of. Sorry to break your heart, anybody who's a fan of Ebrietas, but my god, I am gonna break your heart. Though, again, it comes down to AoE. I think that's the biggest frustration on a consistent level with those kinds of fights. I found it. I'm considering doing challenge runs in this game and maybe making videos of it. But a challenge run that I did do. A challenge run that I did do while I was when was playing this game before was I did a gun run actually that was inspired by Yamfa. Really good YouTube channel. But he shows in his video that it's actually viable to only use a gun. And it was a really memorable run because away from me, demon babies. It was a really memorable run because essentially the key challenge in it comes from having to always get ammo before a boss fight, especially early on. Basically, anytime you want to engage in any particular fight, you need to level up your there it is. So you need to get more bullets, and basically the only thing that you're going to be leveling up in the entire experience is going to be your blood tinge. Because the nice thing about only using a gun is that each fight is from a distance. You just always go away. You don't need to upgrade your health all that much, if at all, depending on the area, and basically you just leave everything to the gun. And you'd be surprised at how smooth sailing it is after the first couple of bosses. I think Vicar Amelia was probably, again, I'm telling you, the drip in this game just consistently. That's actually pretty awesome. But yeah, after the first couple of bosses, which are particularly hard, you get so after the first couple of bosses, which are particularly hard, you get to a point where you've leveled up blood tinge and your gun enough that it's viable. And one of the most viable bosses to fight was actually Ebrietas, because you have enemy lock on. Pretty much any enemy that has a weak face, like the Cleric Beast or Amygdala or Ebrietas, like, if you have lock on their face, you can just shoot them from a distance. And the biggest help in the, when you're using just the gun is the, Bone Marrow Ashes. So, I just kept using those frequently, and that's fucking awesome. I've never... It's that the mask on the face is white. That fits shockingly well, actually. I'm wearing that the entirety of the game. But yeah, it only took me 20 hours to do with... I did defeat the Orphan of Kos using only a gun. Nope. And mind you, no parries either. I made it so that parries, like actually doing a visceral attack, was illegal. Like, so I had it so that you could get the parry, but you couldn't riposte. Because you actually, if you hit an enemy with, when they're riposted, it'll give you more damage. So I had it so that that was allowed, but using viscerals, because like otherwise, I mean, you do viscerals normally in this game. But I did not want that to be the case. That would be a fun one to do a stream of, and then to subsequently make into a little bit of a video. But it would be interesting to try challenge runs for this game, because I haven't done all that many in the grand scheme of things. I've tried different weapons, I've done different builds. I have done proper arcane builds inside of this game, and I've tried to use strength when I usually use skill. I've tried to speed things up a little bit. What was I thinking of? Oh, the Celestial Emissary. Once again, the deal with this boss is that it's kind of supposed to be bad, which is very interesting, but we'll get there when we talk about Celestial, or Ebrietas in comparison. Let's get up here. What do I have? 10? I mean, with any such luck, I should only need like 2. The most interesting things about this boss is they basically give you a preview of what's to come. They've got this guy. It's like, how easy is this guy to dispatch? It's like, the answer with this boss is that, like, beast blood pellets just essentially completely trivialize it, so let's get down here. Just find the guy who isn't running away, which is this guy. Problem is when he busts his head out. Dog! Fucking. Alright. Come on, Evan, you can't die to the Celestial Emissary. You can't do it. Okay, I did it. It's fine. The nice saving grace about this fight is how easy. I should just have it in whip form. I don't like using the threaded cane in whip form, but the area effect and crowd control of it is just so viable. The best thing you can do is use it at the beginning and then transition into the regular cane after the fact. So that's what I'm going to try here. One way or another, there isn't really a strategy with this fight. Just get your beast, like your the beast blood pellets, just get them up as high as you can in terms of the number that you're actually putting as an output, and then go for the one guy. If you do it fast enough, you're not going to get attacked. Alright, boys, let's go. You're supposed to reliably dodge that guy. Look at that bullshit. What the fuck? I guess I just whip the entire time. I mean, he's easy to hit, but yeah, he's just got big punch attacks and you can dodge through them, I suppose, but then you get crowded by the guys. Unfortunately, since the brain sucker's got all of my fucking inside, I'm gonna have a problem with getting more beast blood pellets, but that's the nice thing about this area is at least you've always got those until you run out of insight, but always cross through more fog walls, and not the end of the world. Look like an amateur here. What the hell? Again, that's the thing about the bad bosses in these games. It's just like, what does it come down to? Boring. Just boring to fight. I'll use the frenzied cold blood to get more blood echoes. Probably just end up using their bounty on it anyway. Alright, let's get some fire paper going. Purchase. Yep, back to it. I keep looking at X-Men 97 and I'm like, I'm not doing my job. I'm supposed to be talking about the show and how good it is and how you should be watching it instead of watching me. Maybe that's why Casty took off, or I think they took off, because they gotta watch X-Men 97 now, so I appreciate you listening to me. What's coming up next is House of the Dragon, I suppose, which trailers look amazing. That is probably gonna be really good. Uh-oh. Hang on. Hang on. Not good. Option 2. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, because I'm not chancing it with you, so fuck you. Yeah, that's the Celestial Emissary. Embarrassing on purpose. Not as embarrassing me as me dying to it 3 or 4 times, I suppose. So, it's intentionally an anticlimax, and this is basically what is the purpose for the anticlimax. Is the one hidden wall in this game. This is an interesting point of discussion, is the hidden walls in Dark Souls. There's tons of areas in Dark Souls, like for instance, this area. There's some places in Dark Souls where you just go to this area, you do this, and then a door will appear in front of you. I do not like that as a mechanic. I think it's stupid. Random walls, if you bump into random walls, then one of the walls that you randomly bump into might have a hidden wall behind it, which may or may not have, like, the third most important boss in the game. It's like, and this comes down to if you like exploration and randomness in games, if you like just being out there in the middle of the world and just being like, hey, do what you want to do. This game does not have those hidden walls, except for one. That one. The only real hints that it exists is that if you look, you can tell that it is the Grand Cathedral, so it's like, okay. And then you got that on the side, the, I forget what it's called, but it's what creates the spell, A Call Beyond. So, and it's right near the lamp, and you'd probably be looking around because you'd be looking for where all this leads. You'd think it'd lead to something bigger, but I just, considering that's the one hidden door in the game that does lead to an optional boss, I find it a little bit too, like, held back. Oh, it's just called A Call Beyond. This Scott, I know this from fighting Ebrietas as many times as I do, but sometimes he will fall to his death, and it is so funny. I might get it. I swear, sometimes you do that, and then when the elevator gets to the bottom, thud, just the guy falls. And it's really funny. Altar of Despair. I'm not actually gonna fight her, because this is another thing that's actually interesting to think about. I love this boss, considering that you have to be the one to make the first blow. So forgive me in the lore department, I don't know the full lore of this guy, but that looks very similar to Wrong. I'm guessing it's a great one, or like the remains of a great one maybe, because it seems, her posture looks like she's praying. And she's just sitting here in this room. It's like way below this church. It's like, she's just, and it's called the Altar of Despair. But something that's unfortunately missing from a lot of modern From Software games is memorable boss encounters. And by that I don't mean like a cool cutscene in the opening where it's like, I am Margaret the Fellowman, and like those are awesome and everything, but unique encounters like this one, and like Priscilla. I wish there were more optional bosses that aren't just bosses that you don't have to enter the room and you don't have to like fight the boss, but bosses like this where you enter this room and you just see this being sitting here. And it's just, it does not necessarily look at peace. It's not hostile to you. And the only way that it does become hostile to you is if you attack it first. And it's like, I like the idea, because that's a question with a bunch of the bosses. It's like, why is everyone trying to murder me in this game? It's like, a lot of games don't exactly have a good answer to that kind of a thing. It's just like, well, they just are. But I love bosses that don't attack you from the outset, and there's a little bit more to them, because one of my favorite bosses from Dark Souls 1 is Priscilla. Not because of how good of a boss she actually is, even though she is a good boss. It's that she is... she's literally at the end of the painted world. You just go in there, and then she's like, you don't belong here. Leave. You need to leave right away. And it's like, you can fight her if you want, or you can just respect her wishes and take off. And it's like, it's a very interesting thing. You could have had that in this game. You could have had like Jura be a boss, and like had it be that he's trying to protect the beast and that's his motivation. And obviously all the bosses have their own unique motivations, but it's a really memorable thing in that game. When you just enter a boss room, the boss is not like attacking you right from the outset. And if you just sit there, the music like is subtle. She's just standing still, and then you can talk to her. And that's what she says. She's like, you don't belong in this world, and you leave. Leave here. And then you can leave, and you can never go back. I love that. I love interesting, unique bosses, because you can make the coolest boss with the coolest design, the coolest music, and the most interesting moveset, but distinctive encounters like that are essentially absent in Elden Ring. Elden Ring has no bosses that are like that. Unless there's someone hidden away in that, I'm pretty sure every boss you go into the room and you basically, like, what Gideon kind of has that, but he's just being Gideon. But I don't love Ebrietas, but I love that. And I wish there was more of that instead of From Software games, because it's a cool mechanic to have that. To have it be that not all bosses are just like these horrifying monsters that want to kill you. I feel like that's part of the point in this game, is that the beasts were people at one point, so there's a little bit of a beast in all of us, as it were.
Good hunter. What? Very well. Welcome. What? Very well.
Pretty sure I'm hitting the hard or soft cap. I actually don't know what it like specifically is. So I can check. Do I have any more? Probably one. Tell you what, I'll try him one more time, and if not, I'll go to Canehurst instead. Honestly, not sure at this leveling, because I've defeated Rom and I've defeated the Celestial Emissary now, so decent bit tougher than I was before. This is kind of the most viable that I've gone into this. Alright. Do I have full range going? Alright. Alright, let's do this. There you go. God. That charge is rough. Okay, God. Fuck. Hate that, because the best way, this is where the... I wish that Elden Ring and the other games had implemented this, but Sekiro has such an amazing system where it's not just enemy lock-on, it's camera lock-on. When you're locked onto an enemy, they always adjust the screen where the enemy is in full view the entire time. Every time you move around, you know exactly where the enemy is. Amazing. The idea that they did not implement that into Elden Ring is unreal to me. I can't believe they would just miss the opportunity. Hey, what I'll actually double up again, because that was actually a really good fight. I think I'm leveled about right where I should be. I'll either end this after I kill him, or I'll go to Canehurst after the fact. But I definitely want to defeat him now, because I think I'm at a sweet spot in terms of the leveling, even with these. That was actually fairly close to the second phase. It's just that charge. So, the problem with that charge is that the best thing that you can do, in my experience anyway, is to break the enemy lock on and then dodge to the side, because there's no way to side strafe without also kind of magnetizing yourself to the enemy because of the way that the enemy lock on works. So it's best to just drop that and then go to the side, because it's a straight charge. Because if you do what I did and try to stop at the last second, it's so easy to get dragged along. But yeah, that charge is very difficult to dodge. Not the biggest fan of it personally. Alright. Clipping him now. No. I was about to say, he hasn't even done a spooge attack. Arrive. God, I'm telling you, this still gets my heartbeat going. I love this fight, and no matter how many times, just boof, 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 boof.
All along. My true mentor. My guiding moonlight.
Amazing. Alright, Ludwig, come on. Uh-oh. Wait, no, I was dumping! Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, that goes. Gives me time to talk about Ludwig himself. Amazing two-part boss fight, basically. My only regret is that it's really easy to snap apart his, like, nether regions with beast blood pellets. It's really easy to just get him to a visceral point, because they wanted it to be that this fight is ended with a visceral, and the desire to do that kind of ruins the second phase of this boss, because it is so easy to just keep attacking at the center and, like, get him to viscerals, and then just, like, it's, like, not even fair at that point. And again, it's only if you use beast blood pellets, which I'm just kind of doing that for the sake of brevity / I'm relatively underleveled for this fight. But Yeah. The second phase and the distinction between them is one of the best parts. Alright. Again. That's not very nice. Neither is that. I love that about Ludwig, let me tell you. It's painful to fight him the first time, but it is designed to limit those windows where you can just go back and be like, hey, I'm gonna heal over here, because that's when he comes to slap you. And it's like, I love how there's specific windows where you can heal. Like, there really are, but they're few and far between. So you gotta stay on your toes. That shield that I made up and method for raking worked out really well. And this has been going for a while, actually. I'm pretty happy with the time I got. I mean, we hadn't even defeated Rom before. Moving away the entire time. What happened there? That attack's a little confusing because there's two drop attacks. There's one that's like just jumps in the air, goes straight down, and the other one is like a direct up. I'm pretty sure in the fight you actually can't look directly up above you like you usually can. Like right now, I don't think you can do that and see him up there. I mean, even right now, I think the ceiling's too high for your view to get the camera, and it'd be like, it's a fruitless exercise either way. But the second one, he stays up there for a while, and it's like he's crawling because there's like blood dripping, and it's really creepy. But it's a little harder to figure out that one. The most effective thing is just outrunning the blood drips, basically, which is a cool mechanic where you basically have to outrun where he's about to fall on you because you anticipate it coming. Yeah, let's go for Canehurst. I'll go to Canehurst, maybe get to Logarius / defeat Logarius and call it. Because we've done most of the optional content. We haven't gotten to the One Reborn. That's an alternative. I could kill the One Reborn and then wait for Mikolash for the next stream. But let's get to Canehurst, if nothing else. There should be some chunks, too. I can upgrade my weapon. Alright. Ow. I'm telling you, I love how you can break from that. It's good, because some of them, like, knock you down, but I do like that even if you do get hit and you're like, what the fuck? You can still get up and get the visceral in spite of it. And I'm telling you, just through and through, if they ever make a sequel to Bloodborne, I just pray that they take, like, several pages out of the Sekiro book and make it so that that's the entire point of the overall experience. Like, make literally every single fight humanoid. I'm not saying do that, but, like, more humanoid fights, please. No one likes the One Reborn. Well, I can't say that because Mikolash is a thing, but the humanoid fights are where this game shines, and I'm headed towards one of the best ones. Let's try. I'm being poisoned. Except I got money. God. One episode and Jeffrey Donovan killing it in that role. I love Machine Head and Invincible. It's got auto-tune on. It's great. Dude, I forgot how good Invincible Season 1 was until I rewatched it recently. I'm like, I rewatched it after Season 1 and how good Season 1 was, but... Or Season 2 was, but... Season 1's Kino. It's really good stuff, and I would hope it catches on. Ask me, I always thought that Invincible had a lot more potential than The Boys. I didn't see Season 3 of The Boys. I really did not like Season 2, and The Boys always came across as a lot more gimmicky than Invincible did. I liked how just blunt and straightforward everything is. A good way to describe the difference between the two is the approaches they take to certain ideas. So, for instance, both Invincible and The Boys have adapted the age-old question of why didn't Ant-Man crawl into Thanos' ass and explode inside of his ass and kill him? It's like, everyone asked that after Infinity War came out. It's like, why did it just go into his ear? And they did that with Shrinking Ray in the first season, actually, because Shrinking Ray goes into like a giant guy's ear when she's doing the tryouts to be on the Guardians, and it's like that's kind of one of those like, hey, that's kind of like what they said about Thanos. But The Boys, when they did it in Season 3, they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a guy who can shrink, and it's like, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be a sex thing. It's gonna be a kink. He likes to crawl into the nether regions of like his partner, and it explodes whilst he's in that act. And it's like, what do you just draw from that? It's just that it's explicit. It's explicit, and it's like designed to be explicit. They're like, hey, it's kind of like that thing you were asking in Infinity War. I don't want to spoil it for Invincible, but they take a different approach, one that I prefer. And what I always describe the difference between The Boys and Invincible is that The Boys is intentional with its content, with what it's doing. It's like, when they have like someone explode and blood's on the face, they're not doing that because they need to, they just want to have blood exploding onto people's faces. Because, you know, the draw of the show, it's like, hey, Homelander's like Superman and you got blood on his face. It's like, okay, great. And then Invincible, things just happen in Invincible. And the example that I always use is when Omni-Man kills those guys that are like the invisible soldiers in his house, and he just pushes one like as hard as he can, and he hits a counter and he gets cut in half. His torso stays underneath the counter, and then the upper part of him hits the other side of the kitchen. And the term that I always use to describe Invincible is realistic. And I know it sounds ridiculous. It's like, come on, man, it's not realistic. And I'm like, what I mean by that is things just happen. When you're punched by someone who can crack a mountain in half, you explode into blood. It's just like, that's just about the shape of it in that world. And I like how Invincible isn't intentional with when it has violence happen in it. It's not like they want to be explicit and they want to be the edgy, you know, superhero but rated R. I really appreciate Invincible for having more tact, and that's why I'm on its side. We're getting a new season of The Boys. I have no clue. Everyone is like, kill Homelander already. Just make things different. And that was my biggest thing. Season 3, they're like, hey, this season we're gonna have this, like, the regular characters are gonna be soups because they have temporary soup stuff. It's like, I thought the whole thing was that it was just a bunch of guys going after the evil Justice League, and they didn't have any superpowers and they needed to be creative. Like, they're superheroes this season. That's boring and bad. I don't know why they did that, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with The Boys. Anyway, Evil Yosefka.
God, I'm nauseous. Have you found this? It's progressing. I can see things. I knew it.
Die, evil controlling wench. How many? I should have 2, maybe? Yeah, 2. Interesting that there's 4. Because let's think about it. You get the last one at the very ending. The other one was... I'm having trouble remembering what the... Oh, it's from Ariana, when she delivers the Cthulhu baby. Yeah. This has always been an interesting question that I've had in my mind, is do you kill the real Yosefka? There's a lot of that, like do you kill Solaire in Dark Souls, and... I always loved the notion of quote-unquote putting someone out of their misery. Because the truth is you can't put someone out of their misery if they don't know that they're in misery, or if they, like, don't... It has to be their choice. It has to be something that they decide, and you look at this and you're like, she's been turned into, like, a cosmic entity. I'm like, would she even want to live? And it's like, I don't know. Like, what do you do? And it's like, she attacks you if you get too close, right? And it's like... Yeah. And it's just that sad thing where it's just like Solaire, where it's like, what happened to Yosefka? She just became one of them. It's pretty bleak to just see her turned into a normal enemy after that. You're like, damn, man, I honestly don't know what to do with her. I've never felt great about killing her, but then it's like, do you just leave her there? It's like, it's a hard question to answer. And I love that about certain decisions in this game. My favorite decision we'll get to, and I will talk about extensively, but I love when a game does that. It puts you in a situation and you have to make a choice, and basically it's just a roll of your moral dice. You have to decide on your own what kind of person you want to be, what kind of character you're playing, and there's no right or wrong answer in this game. It just is what it is. I do think that the Canehurst, yeah, because you can read the actual letter, but I think it tells you where to go, and I like that. This is not like getting to the Nameless King instead of DS3. It's pretty instinctive. Yeah, Canehurst summons an old bloodstained summons inviting an honored guest to the Forsaken Castle Canehurst. Rather bafflingly, it is addressed to you. Do not hesitate. The stagecoach leaves from Hemwick Crossing. It's like, yeah. No, you need to go to Hemwick Charnel Lane. And I usually take this entrance. Cutscenes to get to Canehurst, let me tell you. Obviously, every time, like, cutscenes in this game are kind of designed for the sake of load screens, because when you're traveling from one location to the other, that's why it takes so long after you affect the world, because they've got to change everything. Ooh, that's another option. Now that I've defeated Rom, I can finish Eileen's quest. That actually might be the better way to end this this stream, because Eileen matters a great deal to me. I love her quest, and I love how it ends, and she's a very interesting character. I have been being quiet for a lot of the cutscenes because I realized when I was playing it this time that I skip a lot of them, and I'm like, you know, these are really good. I was about to say I could actually chance it and do the rune run. Let's do it, just cuz. Good to see here. I'm just walking. It was worth it. It was totally worth it. That dog annihilated me. That was like the full-out movie run where it's like, I will kill you. Like, killing by like suicide run, jumps me off the cliff. I'm like, dude, you earned that kill. You earned that kill, and I think I would hope that I earned my rune. So it's just I've got, what is it that Joseph Anderson called it? A reincarnation superpower. That's how he described dying and coming back from the dead in games. He described it as reincarnation superpower. It's like, sorry, buddy, I've got the reincarnation superpower. So, you got nothing on me, bitch. The horse is like being like almost zombie-like is like, again, like I know a good bit about the lore on like a macro level, but when you get to some of the micro of like why that's that way or why this horse is even here at all, like don't ask me. And I'd have to look up the quote from the interview, but I've loved that quote from Miyazaki about being inspired by old cowboy stories. Like I said, I'd have to find the actual quote, but what he apparently said is that he loved when he was a kid, and he watched cowboy movies on TV. And what he was drawn to with those cowboy movies was that he didn't really grasp what the story meant. He could follow it, and he comprehended what was going on, but he didn't know what was going on. And I think this is always the case when you're a kid and you consume media. Like for instance, I watched Mulan all the time when I was a kid. I remember nothing about Mulan. If I were to watch it, I'd be watching with fresh eyes. I watched it when I was a kid. I liked it when I was a kid. I remember I'll Make a Man Out of You. I know that Mulan murders the Huns with fireworks, and it's really awesome. I know some of the sword fights, the songs. I remember the design, the aesthetic. Like I remember that movie, but like I don't even know if I have it in my letterbox, because there's a lot that I skip out intentionally because I'm like, I barely even watched this movie if I watched it when I was a kid, and it was so long ago. But it's interesting how when we're kids we can follow a piece of media. A good example for me is the prequels. Like, people always talk about that with the Star Wars prequels. It's like, what, like, these things are about like trade disputes with like between planets and like this whole civil war, and it's all complicated and all the dialogue like is super weird. It's like this is like, everyone's like, they're for kids. I'm like, could have fooled me with what these stories are like actually about. And that was, I love how I always do that, and I'm like, I'm gonna outsmart you because I know that it's a trap, but I always get hit by them in spite of it. But yeah, it's a fascinating desire, because like he wants to make stories that are like that, and it's interesting to try to engineer a story like that for an adult, because when you're a kid, every story feels like that. A lot of stories aren't all that accessible to kids, and when you consume them, you can maybe follow along, but you maybe don't get it. You don't understand all the intricacies of what makes it what it is. And he engineers scenarios he makes stories with the desire of adults consuming and appreciating the story the way that a kid appreciates the story. And it's like, it's a hyper-specific state of being to seek the player to be at. And I think he succeeds. Like, when you hear like what he's looking for from these games, and like when you just look at what they're like, it's like, yeah, it kind of worked. These do feel like the experience of playing something when you're a kid. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the specific details. Like, I know more than most do about like how the world actually works and everything with the healing church, but the specifics not so much, like the hyper specifics. And by the way, pretty much everything I learned was from VodiVidya. Amazing channel. You should check him out if you never have. There's no substitute when it comes to Dark Souls lore. If you're looking for someone to like explain to you more about how these games work, he's the guy for it. His videos are really, really well made. Ow! Bastard. Yeah, Canehurst is an interesting level. Oh, I just realized those are the guys that are on the sneak attack. But, one thing... Ooh, more green. Anybody? No. But I'd have to time it, but by the way, that's my name for, I think a lot of people call it like a run back. I call it the walk. The walk to get to a boss fight. I'm pretty sure Logarius is the longest. It is, you gotta go through the entire castle, and it's verging on unreasonable. It's like, why? It did not have to be like that. Especially considering how intricate and complicated this place is. It's no easy feat maneuvering in this place. Oh, he's actually missing. Yeah, but I love... My one regret here, I suppose I would say, is that the enemies are definitely pushovers. Like, those guys are a little bit more on the... Most of them are slow. But I've never found the knife-wielding ghosts imposing. Like, the ghosts instead of the, what's that place called? The Nulando Ruins, I think? The ghosts there in DS1 are really good. Really good ghosts. These ones, like, they're slow and they just don't do all that much. I've never felt overrun. I don't even know if I've necessarily been killed by them in, like, groups, but... And it's a fine line. You don't want to make any of your bosses too hard. Or just regular enemies, that is to say. Whoa, what the... Oh. Doing that? But yeah, I'll show it in a second. So you gotta... that elevator I opened up. So you gotta run from the bonfire to that elevator. Get up that ladder. You're gonna get shot by the guy if you don't kill him first. Then you gotta go to this roof. To the meme version of that guy. I never even paid attention to that. And then go down here. Around here. And it's funny because this is like essentially in character for a DS1 walk. Like a lot of the walks in that game are super long. And I find a walk a little more forgiving when it's the boss makes up for it, because luckily Logarius is a really good boss, but the Bed of Chaos, for instance, is like one of the most infamous walks instead of From Software. And in this, it's pretty much the same. Alright, Logarius, it is time to use those Bold Hunter's marks that I just did and then fuck off. Bye! Yeah. I'm probably gonna call it. I've been going for a little over 2 hours. I'm gonna go, farm for a smidge so that I can finish the Eileen subquest or side quest. I'll try to ferret and then I need to make that a t-shirt. I keep saying fair it as in like a descriptive term. I'm sure it just sounds like I'm saying ferret. I'll like do something relating to a ferret. I mean, I like ferrets. I got nothing against them. Just... okay. I don't even... Let me just try this as is. You never know. And if not, I could potentially try to use an exploit. Because believe it or not, I have a decent bit to say about this quote-unquote boss. A lot of people say he may as well be the final boss of the game. Frustrating enemy, no denying that. We'll get to it when we get to it. The reason why I feel like ending it on this is that I don't want to hit 3 hours, and it's probably going to take 3 hours to kill this guy, because... God, I thought Rom was bad. It's relatively easy. For one, he kind of poisons himself because he uses the Chikage, and... for two, he's also relatively easy to parry. It's that gun that is the whole problem, man. The best consistent plan is to side strafe, because if you just keep side strafing, keep circling him, I could have killed Eileen there, then you'll be able to avoid him.
Is that you again? I'm afraid I made a bit of a blunder. I'm just going to have a short rest. Oh, don't worry. I've taken blood. Enough to save an old woman. No more dreams for me. This is my last chance. What a fool I am. I have to tread carefully. But that thing still lies in wait. Turn back. This is my score to settle.
There's a reason why I believe in the fully optimistic ending of this quest that we'll get into when I kill the Canehurst Crow, but I really do feel like Eileen can have a happy ending here. So let's do it one more time.
My prey lies in wait this way. Turn back. This is my score to settle.
Yeah, it's... she's just... kind of like stuck. Someone who's like... She almost comes across as like an athlete that pushes themselves too far. Like, there are so many athletes that get injured just by trying to be good at what they do. It's like she puts too much on herself and just lets herself get hurt. And I think this is the point of you in the story, is that you're there to help her, and then you're there to give her peace by, like, killing the person who got the best of her. Speaking of... Alright, I will really try to fare this guy, but... after that, I will demonstrate an exploit you can use, because... as far as I'm concerned, this boss, by and large, just isn't even all that fair or interesting. It's the fucking gun and the parries. They're both ridiculous. Yeah. There it is. That's what I'm saying, though. He poisons himself at the very least, so you have that. Not doing so bad so far. This is the thing, you can kind of play the clock. And the frustration for him as like a quote-unquote boss is the fact that, like, he's so relatively small that it's really easy to... I'm fucking taking names naked right now. Look at this shit. And there it is. The second I get arrogant, there it is. Yeah, but he poisons himself with the Chikage, and then the parries are relatively easy to get. It's just that his moves aren't distinctive, and it comes down to the difference between PvP in this game and, like, just the regular NPC fights versus the regular bosses. Because, like, Gascoigne and Gehrman don't look like regular enemies. Their moves, like, the way they actually fight is a lot more pronounced than some of the other bosses. But I do wish that they'd made this guy a smidge more telegraphed and got rid of his gun. I don't care what health build you have, that fucking parry is almost invariably like an insta-kill. It's just done. Because his gun hits like a tank, and that thing, like, it just sucks your soul out of you. So... go for round 2. I went surprisingly well. Again, I was naked. I'm not prepped, but I'll try to fare it one more time and then probably use the exploit. There's a couple you can use, which is good. Don't want to make it too easy on this guy. Just the funny thing about his Bloodhound step, if you just don't freak out, you're usually fine. Like, he bounces around a lot, but... What? That looked like it should have been a parry to me. Just one man's opinion, but... That's another one of my frustrations, though. It's just... it's really easy to just keep missing, and, like, all this to just feel monotonous, just given the fact that that's what he does. He just disappears all around the room, because the guy can basically teleport. That, again, looked like it should have parried. I don't know if he had his sword. There it is. Alright. Let's get some hits in. Because that's the thing, that's why that's the best way to go about this game, or this fight in particular. You can't get regular hits in. If you get parried, you're done. So the best thing to do is to specifically blood bullet up and look for windows, and there it is, the gun. Gun's the biggest problem, and then, like, for one, getting shot is, like, death, like, instant death. But it's a matter of, for one, playing the clock, because you can use poison, the fact that he has the Chikage in its second form, and then you can use poison knives, and you can use something that I'll try here since I'm limited. This is also what I was talking about with the Henrik fight and, like, exploits, because that one I don't even consider it an exploit, actually. I consider it an in-character decision for you to make that is basically presented to you by the environment. Like, an exploit is when you do something that's, like, categorically against your character and against what's going on in the game. Like, clipping through the map is an exploit. But it's like, I don't consider that an exploit. Some of the stuff in here is definitely within that realm, and I'm going to show you one. You can lead this guy. So for one, you can lead him to the stairs. I'm going to try to play the clock first. Try to get hit as infrequently as possible to see if I can get him to poison himself. Because the biggest problem is he can heal, I think, just once, maybe twice. So if you can get that done, the best way is, like, there. It is so... Especially how many times you can get parried by the guy yourself. It is so satisfying to fucking parry him. I love it. Maybe I won't need exploits, you never know. Ow. On second thought. Well... Ah, there it is. No more of that. Yeah, I didn't want to beat my head into a wall for Rom, but I'll beat my head into a wall for this guy. Because it's worth it at least to finish Eileen's story, and he's just not a good enemy, and there's nothing beneficial about him, but... We will end his life and get the crow set to honor Eileen's memory. In the meantime, let's sell something for Blood Echoes. Never... Use chunks too. Let's upgrade our weapon. A weapon. Sell the Red Palash as well. I don't know if that's how you say that. It's always sounded just so right to me. Reiter Palash. I think that's how you say it. Reiter Palash. Oh man, and that is an invaluable weapon for the gun run. Let me talk to you about something. It's all in Yamfa's video. Look it up. Just look up like Bloodborne gun only. He's so clever with it. Basically, you can get to a point where you can parry with your left-handed weapon and use the Reiter Palash as a right-handed weapon, and you can parry and then get good gun damage from the right-handed weapon. It's crazy what he juggles in that game. But yeah, I emulated the hell out of him. See if we can get one level at least. Maybe two. I'll need it to resist the guy, because I don't want him to shoot me and it to kill me. Just kidding, if I get shot, I'm dead. Oh. Or at least if I get visceraled, I'm dead. Did I get that rune that I got from the lake? I'm not sure if that's any good. I rarely ever get it because of exactly what happened. It was probably just another communion rune. No. Not good where it is. Yeah. Let's just do that, I guess. Use poison. I still think I can kill this guy fairly. I'm doing pretty well. I'm always surprised by it. I think it's just that the biggest mistake you can make when fighting this guy is to use melee. You need to poison him, let him poison himself, or visceral him. The best bet is to get visceral attacks and then hit him maybe once or twice after the fact. Gotta whittle away. If you're greedy, he will parry you, and you will be killed by his parries. It's as irrefutable as gravity. So it is best to play keep away because, again, he poisons himself. He's got the Chikage, so it's just like you can let that do most of the work, get rid of the first heal if you're just willing to bide your time. So I'm going to try exactly that this time around. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, I know how to play this game, buddy. But you hurt my waifu, so... Gun! That's again what makes him such a bad enemy. You never know which one it is. Dodge with the Bloodhound step. Is it the gun or is it the knife? Fucked if I know. You have to assume it's the gun. If you don't, odds are you're gonna get killed. My problem with the exploit, is you lead him to the stairs, and then there's a part where you can go back, and you can get it to the point where he's inert for you to backstab him over and over and over again. It takes like 10 times to do it, but if you get it right, it's relatively reliable. It'd just be tedious as all hell, and I'm hoping I can avoid that. Because, truth be told, I don't like using exploits in these games. I would prefer not to use them if I can help them. And I'm experienced enough with this boss that I'm probably good enough to be able to do it fairly. I've gotten close before in this very run, so let's try this again. Yeah. That's the one, baby. How... Look at that damage, man. It's insane. People say this about, like, infinite heals with certain enemies inside of these games. Like, so for one, this guy never runs out of ammo, and it's bullshit. It's like, come on, dude. There's no way he could be blood bulleting that, like, that much. And even at any rate, he literally isn't doing it, so... It's like he's just got infinite ammo, and he doesn't play by the same rules as you. That's the frustration. This is supposed to be a hunter-on-hunter boss where it's skill against skill, but it's not. Gascoigne is a skill against skill fight. He's got a specific moveset, you fight him fairly. That gun ruins everything. It's way more I don't care how much you upgrade the dual pistol with, like, using your, like, full blood tinge build with the bone marrow ash. It's not gonna hit that hard. It's not gonna take away, like, 2/3 of your health bar if you're at, like, my level of health bar. but his does, and he never runs out of ammo. Why? Because he's the privileged child. He just is, for some reason. So. Insult to injury, by the way. It is unfortunate that this is the, because you get Lawrence later, so this is actually the third boss that takes place in this room. It does get a little stale, especially without the music, and I think that's the best bet I have, is the Chikage when he's using it, because I don't think he can use his gun when he two hands. See, right now is when he's most dangerous, because watch this, there, that's what he does every single time. He just dodges and then uses his gun. Dodge, gun. So again, best bet, wait for the Chikage, like that, and then... Right. 1, 1, 2... And I'm telling you, just, you can't greet it, because he will parry you. Nice try. You want to know how much love I've got for Eileen? I'm hoping that, like, seeing how much I'm beating my head against the wall with this guy will let you know. Whoop! Alright, did I poison him? It did. Yeah, poison is the trick with this guy, because for one, he uses it with the Chikage. God, it was a bad decision that I made just there. Okay. God, palms are sweating. On spaghetti. Okay. Fuck. Fucking you. It's on the side. X-Men 97's good. We always have that. I was on the side. That was stupid. And again, the gun. And again, infinite ammo and just bang, 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 bang. And by the way, using Bloodhound's step, like he's using over and over and over again and just spamming it, that requires blood bullets too, and he doesn't play by those rules either. Because for some reason he's special. It's just, that's the thing. This does not feel like you're fighting an equal. Quite the opposite. It feels like you're fighting someone who's cheap. And that's why I've got no problem with backstabbing him over and over again, is that, like, if he's cheap, I'll be cheap back. It's an exploit, but I'm fine using an exploit against an unfair enemy, which is exactly what this guy is. That gun is unfair. It doesn't play by this game's rules. Used all my knives. Yep, I did. Pretty much worthless against him anyway, so... Can't believe that actually connected. why you also can't follow up immediately after a dodge, because you don't know. Right there, he could have... I guess I'm from a distance, so maybe that's like the assumption that it's going to be the ranged attack. But he as frequently uses it in close-up, which is why you can't rely on it. And again, Chikage, when he's actually, when he's in the two-handed mode, he doesn't have the gun, it's the best time to attack him. And he poisons himself at the same time, so doubly so, I guess. What the fuck? Gun. Half my health with, I guess, one shot of it. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Can you please poison yourself so that we can move on? Ishin and his fucking Glock. I'm like, step aside for the Canehurst Crow, dude. Like, just spams that thing all the time. And again, if it worked like the other guns and it did that much damage, fine. Have at it. When it doesn't play by the game's rules, what are we doing? I said I'd beat my head into the wall. I will... This guy will die tonight. But... how long that's gonna take is up to From. And in my experience, it is a bastard and a half. Alright. This'll be the one. This'll be the one. I got 2 blood vial echoes. It'll be fine. Bang. See, look at that. That wasn't even telegraphed. There you go. Nice thing is I've got those runes that can get my health back up at this point. Gun. Heal. Alright, I gotta farm. Back in a sec. This guy is agitating. Okay, we must farm. Where are we going to farm? Must we? Maybe not, maybe not. Just get these guys out here for some bullets. Unless they stopped existing after I killed Rom. I don't know where to farm realistically. But I can't just leave Eileen hanging like that. I gotta finish the job. I couldn't defeat Ibri. Again, farming is pretty inviable if you don't sell those. I mean, I'm not. Wait. So don't you get that better one at Canehurst? I could be wrong. Oh, I might have to level it up enough. Sell some of our drip. Can't sell the choir garb. I can't sell that. Dull set sells for pretty high. Get the gloves because I never use that. How much is that? Oh, that's a lot. Purchase. Okay, let's go 60. There you go. All right. This is the one. This is the one. Not gonna achieve it before the 3-hour mark, but who's keeping track other than Twitch and my own judgment? Alright. He dies tonight. Alright. Blood bullets. Heal. Alright, we gotta finish this. Remember what I did before? I always used the Hunter's Axe. Like I said, on my first playthrough, that was what I used. And I just used the stairs. Because he's got that... The axe has that huge move that you can do, like the spinning attack. And I just did that over and over and over again. Oh, I just realized. I didn't even notice that detail before. All that blood, that's probably Eileen's. Shit. Is it always after the somersault? If it is, then that's at least consistent. Maybe it is that. Come on, dude. Let's bust out the two-handed. There it is. Attaboy. Alright. That's the other option I could do. See, but then that's the problem. Whoa! That is the only time that I have ever played this game, and in that time when I've been playing the video game, I've been parried by him and he's fucked it up. I can't believe I just got that on recording. I'm telling you, this guy, like, Every time you're visceraled, he will come to you and he will get that visceral that he earned. Somehow I dodged. He totally had me dead to rights. It was right in front of him. Maybe the heavies are better? There you go. Get in this place now. Has he used his heal yet? I don't think he has. Flipping through my, God! That was just a miss. That might be the strat, though. Attacking once, right after the bullet. Bang, go, hit. Not reliable, as you literally just saw there, but still. Could be a strat. I do that sometimes. I chance it because I'm like, maybe he won't shoot. I'm like, no, of course he's gonna shoot. He always shoots. That's all he knows how to do. There you go. God. Alright. Heavy. What? That looked like it should have been a visceral. It's all the gun. I'm like, what? Disappearing. It's actually pretty similar to the Twin Princes, where the Twin Princes disappear. They just like, whoop, and then they're in. My frustration with them, they're an interesting fight, but you really do get stuck so many times when you don't know the attack that's coming. You just... It's a roll of the dice. They disappear into it. And you have to read it as they begin to appear. It's basically the same thing. You're dealing with a teleporting enemy that 87.2% of the time when he's going to be coming out of that animation, he's going to be shooting at you. It's like that other time is the only time you have a chance to cause any damage, because like him shooting, just like there's nothing you can do. You have to, other than strafing. That's the best thing to do, is just to be rolling in a circle and to be dancing around each other the entire fight. But you gotta just look out for those opportunities for the viscerals, because that's when he's most of the time you can get at least 2 hits in, and that's like, because here, let me just try to fight it. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I try to fight him fair. Well, I didn't get parried, but one way or another, that's the deal with him. You can't get close. You can't get close and you can't fight, which the frustration is that this is a hunter on hunter fight. So it's like, what are we doing here if we're not going fair? And it's like, what we're doing is we're fucking around with a gun. It's like, hey, let's give this guy a big old gun. They gave Gehrman a gun. That's fair. So why not him? I guess the answer is that it's supposed to be the final hunter boss. Like, maybe this is just supposed to be the hardest hunter that you find, but again, with like the definition of hard, it's not, it isn't even that. Tedious is a lot more in character for what you would describe this. Right, dude, let's just finish this because I am done. I told everyone I would beat my head into a brick wall, but I do have, like, there comes a part where you don't have any head left, if you know what I'm saying. Fuck. Yeah, I can't go for the heavy. I have to go for the normal attack. Alright, for real now. I'm gonna let him poison himself this time. I'm just gonna kind of run around in circles and let him do it to himself, and then I'll go. I'm tired of wasting my bullets from the beginning. I'm probably not gonna listen to my past self in about 20 seconds, but I can say it. I swear there is a reason why I do this every single time, and why I'm relatively good at this boss is that her rune is actually really useful. It improves your stamina, and it is very useful in this fight. I think that was just a little late for a visceral. Okay. Of all the strats that I've been employing right now, that's the most useful one. Bang, and then bang, go, attack. And even that isn't reliable, as you just saw. There you go, gone. Boring. Boring, boring, boring. Yeah, work on your aim, buddy. Fuck you, man. Look at this. Just... what am I supposed to be doing here? The answer is just let him bleed himself to death with the Chikage. You comprehend what we just saw? He shot me once, and it took my entire health bar down. I don't know what else to say other than that gun is not a gun from this game. That gun is a gun. The guns in Bloodborne aren't guns. I'm not sure what the best way to bait him going the two-handed attack is. It might just, like... Maybe it's getting relatively close, but the problem is you can't get relatively close because of the gun. So... Alright, last time. This will definitely be the one. Couldn't possibly lose. He shot me. Was that a character? Chicago. Wait, he dropped it already? Alright, heavy. This is kind of the best thing to do because as long as he stays using the Chikage in two hands, then we're kind of good. It's funny because you're almost tempted to give him a taste of your own of his own medicine, but you can never keep it up for long enough that it's viable. His health bar is too big. Even though, again, you can pull the same trick on him, it's just not even really worth it. Should have used his heal. I'm pretty sure he did. Oh, no, he just did now. It's super simple. Don't make encounters where if you make one mistake, it's it. It's like, what happened? I got shot by him. It's like, so? You got shot by him. Yeah, I know, but it's like, you got shot by him. It's like, that's just it. You're dead. Okie dokie. And by the way, I do not have an unrespectable amount of health. All I've done is put my health into, or my blood echoes into health and skill. But that health bar, it's pretty big, all things considered. It's not like a health build, but the idea that I could be one-shotted by a gun from that... These are Chicago. Look at this. Like, you tell me, does this really feel like a skill against skill encounter? Because that is pretty... I would say that definitely seems to be what they're going for, but that isn't what this is. Because again, they cut out the important part, which is you have to play by the player's rules, and he doesn't. He objectively doesn't. It's an attack. I don't... That's the one that should be fairly exploitable. The problem is that you have to strafe or dodge through because of the gun. So again, that... Should use this heal. Fucking. That wouldn't have killed him, but still, I can be mad about it. Plan B. I'll try the exploit, see if I can make it work. I doubt it. If not, it'll take forever, but I mean, I've been beating my head into the wall for 20 minutes, so I may as well. I'm out of health. Yeah. The gun is the biggest problem. Without the gun, if it were a regular gun, it would be fine. For one, it's a dual, like, it's the whole double-barreled one, so it hits twice as hard as the other guns, even just normally. Like, you can buy that gun, and it is a very good one, but... how hard that thing hits and how much he spams it. They should have just had him run out of ammo. You could give him, like, an uncharacteristically high amount of ammo that's, like, you know, made up by blood bullets, but it's just the fact that he can shoot that thing over and over and over again. What makes it a relatively inviable weapon is the fact that it uses 2 bullets. It's expensive to use that thing, but he doesn't play by the rules. So you can just shoot 2 bullets over and over and over again, and it's good. Come on, buddy, let's go. Come on. Come on, come on. Let's go. Come on. Alright. I'm gonna run. Alright, let's see. Did he follow and see me? Nope. And here it is. So yeah, this is the problem, is that you gotta do this like 10 times. I've never understood why his jacket does that, or... So, I'll get in the corner. I don't think he should see you if you're over here. Yep. So, there it is. There he is. So, let's move into the box. Sitting there, casually enjoying life, and then guess who, motherfucker? see if this will work. I think you kind of have to lead him down the stairs, unfortunately, a good way. Let me see. I don't think that de-aggroed him, but I'll give it a try. And again, I think I got shot by it like once, and he still like took off most of my health with just that one shot. And it didn't de-aggro him like I thought. Yeah. I'm not gonna beat my head into the wall anymore. At Canehurst, this is a really bad fight. It unfortunately resolves Eileen's quest line. I'd love to finish the rest of it, but it's late for me even, and I've been going for 3 hours actually, so I am pretty content with where this ended. So yeah, let me get back into that drip I had before, because that thing... Old Hunter with the choir set. You just go Gascoigne's and then... Dude, look at that. Is it drip if I've ever seen one? Yeah. But that'll be it. That's about 3 hours. I did the, So let's count it off. I did ROM, I didn't do the one Reborn, but I did the Celestial Emissaries, and... That couldn't have been literally it. Didn't I do more of the optionals? I made it to Logarius, I didn't go in and fight him. But yeah, a lot more real estate in this game has been covered, so... as always, I hope that what I've been talking about has been insightful or interesting or entertaining. I continue to prove myself not necessarily great at this game, even though I've played it a lot and it's my favorite game. I'm no expert, but there's only so much you can do or so much you can know with something like that. But yeah, loving it. Oh, that was the other thing that I did. I fought Ludwig a couple of times. I almost beat him. I mean, I got killed in the second phase, but I did make it to his second phase pretty fairly. So, yeah. Lot covered. Hopefully we can touch a little more of the DLC. I'm definitely going to defeat, I'll make an oath to it or whatever, but I will definitely defeat Ludwig and the Canehurst Crow in the next one. And hopefully we can get through a decent bit of the DLC next time, but yep. ROM is down, and now world's very different, so... Thank you everyone who joined in, particularly Casti, T. Florens. Hope I answered your questions well. Yeah, but I will try to pay attention to the chat more often. It's great to have some engagement, and I hope that my voiceover is interesting. So, yep. This will go up to Evan Monroe Extra, and thank you for watching.